So you ready to quit Swift programming? Well, you reached the right video. Let me explain. This video is brought to you by DigiLink Academy, your #1 source to learning programming fast and get to that 6-figure freelance salary you desire. Our courses include our SQL Project course, our Freelance Kickstarter, our Python course, and our interview programming course, and much, much more. So if you haven't already, go ahead and click the link below to get to our free 7-step freelance guide so that we can help take your career to the next level. I'll see you guys in the course. All right, guys, I got a good topic for you today. We're going to talk about Swift programming and some of the problems why I'm getting ready to quit, or this person that we're talking to getting ready to quit Swift programming. So, guys, the takeaway of this video is you need to focus on the language that gets you the most results from a project perspective. Most companies are going to have that top tier programming language, that primary programming language they use, maybe a secondary, but the primary is going to be probably 80-90% of the code base, and they'll have a second one just for maybe proof of concepts, things like that. So as you guys progress through your career, you're going to find out pretty quickly that, in some areas, certain industries, certain programming language are going to be the priority for a company. And it may be even different than what you've done before and what you make money with before. So there's going to have to be some decisions made on, do you quit or you stop using a programming language for something that you didn't have on your radar initially. So I want to go into some of that for you guys here. I got some good notes here, and I want to make sure I cover these effectively. So at the end of the day, guys, the big problem is most of you guys are trying to learn too many programming language at once. And yeah, if you're doing it for a hobby on the side or something like that, go right ahead. This video may not be for you because this is specifically talking about business-minded developers who are doing this from a business side. They want to make money. They want to really make their time more efficient. So this is for you guys. That being said, at the end of the day, you have to focus on that primary language. I got a couple of examples for you here. But before you do that, guys, I have some goodies in the description box. I have a free 7-step guide that's going to help you take your career to the next level and really help you not quit a programming language, but really help you progress to the next level of your programming journey. So go ahead and sign up for that 7-step guide. Also, if you already signed up for that 7-step guide, I have some premium courses that's going to help you as well. So links below for both my free guide and my premium courses, and you can get access to our community for free as well. So go ahead and pick that up, guys. That being said, let's talk about some of the problems you guys are going to have when it comes to quitting C# development. That being said, let's put ourselves in a position of a freelance Swift developer. Guys, if you already know, Swift is a Apple-based language used for iOS programming, all that stuff from the Apple side of things. I've used it in the past. I don't use it as much now because I outsource a lot of that stuff, and I'm mainly working with SQL, C#, and that's what I do. Well, depending on where you are in the United States or overseas, different markets have different programming languages that they demand. And me, in my specific market, in my industry and what I do, Swift is not one of the things that's a priority. We outsource a lot of that stuff for other contractors who specialize in that because we don't do a lot of stuff on the Apple side of the fence unless it's just customer facing for driver portals and things like that. And with the mobile or the more reactive, I can't think of it right now, web design is more gonna be better to not necessarily have a modern application. So you can do everything via web browser and it reacts to your actual web browser, your device, so that you got more flexibility. That being said, guys, at the end of the day, you have to make sure your skill set your programming language that you personally learn is in line with the local demand or the industry you work with. Because if not, you're going to struggle with these issues that I'm going to discuss here. So one of the issues you're going to have, guys, as a freelance Swift developer, just say if you're in a market that may not necessarily have all the Swift developers have Swift work, but it's more C# work. And at the beginning, you're a software developer, you're a freelance developer, you're just trying to get any gig, and you'll eventually find yourself doing Swift jobs. At least that's the thinking at the beginning. So you take on a lot of these C# jobs, and you over time, you look at your job list and the kind of gigs you got. 90% of them are C# job and the other 10% are Swift. Now you're juggling. Now you're having to learn and specialize in 2 different programming languages. And yeah, if you're doing that occasionally, no big deal, no harm, no foul. But if you got a demanding client on your Swift side, maybe 10% of your business, they call you every time stuff breaks with the app, that gets old quick. And if you're trying to scale, get other people on your team, you want a standard programming language. Even as a freelancer, guys, you want to find clients who have similar programming stacks, so that when you do decide that, hey, I want to hire somebody else, or I want to make my workflow simple, you have the clients that have similar programming stacks, and it's going to make life easier for you. You only have to maintain one source code or know one set of syntax, and then kind of go from there. A lot of you guys make that mistake. I make that mistake. It's okay at the beginning, but you need to focus on what's in demand in your local market, that specific language, so that you don't get stressed out. You don't spread yourself thin. You can't be juggling all that stuff, guys. Most markets, especially in the professional services, gonna lean towards Java, C#, data science from the Python side of the fence. You got other R, you got the Googles, and the more the Silicon Valley is gonna be more the edgy goals and all that stuff. So each market is going to be unique, and you got to find that out and really kind of put yourself in a position where you're not juggling multiple programming languages. That's what going to cause you to burn out, because it's going to get hard, guys. It sucks to having to manage 2 different code base, switch between 2 major programming language. And let me give you guys context as well. I'm not talking about, just say a company has a main programming language, C#, and they may have maybe, I don't know, 10%, 5%, or something like that, may use Python or have a WordPress site that's on the side. That's not necessarily a main system, it's a supporting system. That's typical right there. I'm talking about you have 2 different clients, or let's just say you had 10 clients, right? 9 of them use C#, and this other one use Swift, and they call you 60% of the time you're on the phone with this client trying to fix something. You need to not fire, but find somebody else that can support that code for you, so that you can focus on those other 9 clients that have that C# code, and maybe get a 10th one, so that you can make sure that your experience, your workflow is more efficient, guys. This is going to be very important for you, because if you don't, it's going to stress you out. And I got a couple of tips here I want you guys to really understand, so that you don't make the same mistakes I made. Because now that you know this and you're thinking about quitting Swift, before you do that, let me give you some pointers here. One programming language is not necessarily better than the next, and let me explain. Because at the end of the day, think about cars, right? You got a Lamborghini and you got a Honda. Which one best? Most of you guys are going to say the Lamborghini right off the bat, and I would say I can see where you're coming from, but you got to think use case. Most people Honda's gonna be more useful for most people because of the actual practicality of it, the price of it, other characteristics that makes that particular car in that specific use case better. You gotta think of your programming languages the same way, guys. Swift is one of those languages that is sexy, that's used all around, but some companies do not leverage it internally in their code base. At least they don't support the code. They may rely on a third party to do it, but they don't necessarily do it. Not that Swift is not better than C# or maybe not have a use case. It's just that particular use case, that specific client need that. Think about your programming language the same way, guys. Number 2, align your skills with the local market demand or in your industry. Again, top 10 companies, what programming stacks they use, what programming languages. You're going to start seeing trends. You're going to start seeing opportunities. You're going to start getting direction on what you need to learn and what you need to prioritize, as far as just, I need to know this because 80% of the market use it. I can get that business and it's going to make life easier for me, guys. Number 2, languages that are not in demand, take them off the table. This is different between hobby and you programming as a professional. You have to take those off the table when it comes to businesses, guys. You can't, in business, time is money. All the time you're using learning a programming language that's not demand in company and on company hours is time you're losing. So you need to get rid of those programming language and focus on the stuff that makes you the money. Again, number 4, follow the money, guys. Follow the money. If you're not following the money, you're going to put yourself in a position where you're going to be a broke developer, starving artist. Which again, if you're doing this for a hobby, go right ahead. But we're talking business over here, guys. This is the business of software development over here, guys. So go ahead and do that. And number 5, know what programming languages you do for hobbies and for business, guys. At the end of the day, it's all about knowing what you want and knowing what the priorities are, and you're going to be less likely to quit. So at the end of the day, guys, hopefully I gave you enough insight so that you can make the right decision on which programming language to use and which ones to quit using. And I hope this helped you guys. If you haven't already, go ahead. Links are below to my 7-step guide and my premium courses. Go ahead and check that out. If you agree with me, comment below. If you disagree with me, comment below so that we can start a conversation. Like, subscribe to the content. I'm going to put a link to my 7-step guide here to help you guys out. Click on that. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.